Hey guys, I'm Sean McCauley with Cloud Defensive, and tonight I'm going to show you a long-awaited product, our Mission Configurable Handheld. So, the Mission Configurable Handheld. We've been waiting for a long time to bring this to market. It's been something that you guys have been asking for literally years, and we finally got it done. So, the first thing I think a lot of people are going to ask is, how big is this light? The answer is, it's not very big. Now you can see it in my hand. I think the best way to give you the comparison is to show you how big it is relative to our other light. Two very different tools. The Rain is a weapon-mounted solution. Its tail cap is a lot bigger for a few different reasons, but as it applies to a EDC size light, we knew this thing had to be smaller. We also listened to you guys a lot, and one of the common comments was that they wanted a smaller light, so we got to work and we did that. Now the obvious difference here is the height difference. Really matters a lot when you start to put this thing in your pocket. But the other thing that I think a lot of people are going to appreciate, and it's going to resonate pretty deep, is the outer diameter difference of these two lights. So much so that the MCH actually fits inside the ID of that Rain light. So this is a much smaller light. And I think it just had to be that way. There's a time and a place for everything, but this was our first handheld light offering. We carry lights every day in our pocket. We knew that something like this was just kind of a no-go, right? So it was important to us to make something that works for you guys. Now, on the output side, they're saying, what's a smaller light? What's it capable of? The answer is, it's capable of a lot. We have a couple of different offerings for you right out of the gate. So you're gonna have two different head options. They're both here. I don't know how well I can show it here in the studio, but what you're gonna find is that we've got an EDC head. That's going to be rated at approximately 1400 lumens and at approximately 32 or so thousand candela. So it's less than, say, a Rain light, which is rated at 60,000, but typically an EDC light doesn't need to punch that far. Now, some of you guys will be saying, well, I want a light that punches that far. And the answer is, we got you. So, I believe it was this one. This guy here, same light head, just a different diode, different setup internal, is rated at approximately 70,000 candela. So if you're a guy who absolutely needs to punch a long ways into the distance, we got you covered there too. 70,000 is a ton of candela. This is rated a little bit lower at 1100 lumens, still incredibly bright, still puts a lot of good usable spill into the picture. But if you are talking about an EDC setup, for most people, I think the other light is going to be a little bit more appropriate. I think it's going to be very, very capable. It'll be able to throw light realistically as far as you'll want to. But again, if you're a guy who just absolutely has to, lives out on property and you need to put a light down range, or if you're on the job, military, law enforcement, firefighters, guys who need to penetrate a lot of barriers, the higher candela offering is the way to go. So we've got two different options, and like I said, they're both going to be available the day of launch. We'll have it in all the colors, so pick your poison, and you can kind of get to it. Now, one of the things that's really interesting about this light is, from the beginning, we kind of stepped back and we said, hey, we want to do this different. We want to offer something that hasn't been offered. Cloud's kind of known for doing that, and put some real thought into it. And I think we accomplished that. Now, the front of the light kind of is what it is, right? It comes down to output, capability, what it delivers, and size. So we conquered that hill pretty fast, where we honestly spent a lot of times at the back of the light. And I think what you're going to find is that the stuff we do here resonates with the end user, because we are the end users, right? We're the guys who carry these things and use these things. So, to kind of dig in, one of the first things we knew we had to do was be compatible with Theorem. So we called Theorem, right? Early in the design process, and we said, hey, we're making this handheld. Let's work together and make this work slightly better. So that's exactly what we did. And you're going to notice that a lot when you go and take it apart. So what happens here is, first thing you're going to see is you're going to see an O-ring down low, which actually engages on the Theorem, on the switchback. And right out of the box, the first thing you're going to notice is you're going to have a deep carry pocket clip. Now, this film is being done before those are even ready, so I can't show them right now. It's a deep carry pocket clip, so you can absolutely, get that deep carry for EDC. But on the Theorem side, you'll see that the engagement surfaces are matching. They actually work. And that O-ring does a really, really good job of retaining that, and it provides a counter to rotation. So when it comes to actually deploying the Theorem as it was intended, it doesn't spin around on you. It's very secure. And that's perfect for duty use, kit use. I mean, a lot of us have been carrying this thing EDC just like that. Works great for that too. So that covers the pocket clip. It also covers the Theorem offering that we're going to have for you. So you've got two options right out of the gate. Again, set it up how you need it. This is where it gets interesting. So now we move farther back into the tail cap, and we did something that's never been done. And honestly, it's pretty congruent with how we operate around here. It was kind of due to some frustration we'd had with some other lights, right? So we carry these things every day in our pockets, and like you, we've probably experienced more than one ND of a light into your pocket, and all of a sudden your leg's hot, right? That sucks. So we stepped back and we said, okay, how can we make this, again, configurable, because not everybody wants the same thing, and offer something that's never been offered. So late night discussions, as we do here at Cloud, and we come up with basically a series of ND protectors that are adjustable. So every single MCH ships with these three, and I'm about to show them to you. What you've got is the ability to run this without ND protection, and then you've got three different ND protectors that you can thread in here. Now, why are there three? Well, the first answer to that is the Theorem itself works really, really good with minimal ND protection. You know, we all know how to use this thing, and when you deploy it, if you've got significant ND protection in there, your knuckle is actually hitting it. It just doesn't work well. But you take the ND protector out and you can key that light really, really easy. So that's a great way to run that setup. And we actually have an ND protector specifically designed for the Theorem. So this sits really, really low, and we've got them set up here for you, so I'll show you. And it looks just like that. So you can actually see the ND protection, but it's minimal, and if you hit it, you will absolutely fire that light. And again, the reason being, when you go to deploy that, you don't want to be fighting the ND protection on your light. So that's the first one. And then we've got two other offerings here with two different heights, because again, everybody's a little bit different. If you're carrying this thing deep in your pocket, I would probably recommend the taller one, especially if you just got the standard pocket clip. That will give you the maximum amount of protection, and it's gonna be really, really hard to ND that. And that's critical, not just if you're hitting on it, but if you're sticking this in your pocket, you get in your vehicle, we've all felt that, where it comes up and hits your belt. Well, this will prevent that ND. And then if you say, hey, I'm going out and I'm training today, I'm gonna throw this on my kit, I'm gonna throw it in my duty belt, whatever applies, you literally just unscrew this, screw in the lower protector in that case, put your Theorem on, and then you go do that. So it's very configurable, and I think it's a feature that needed to happen that just hadn't happened. So we did it quickly and patented it because that's what we do. I think it's one of those things that people are going to appreciate the more they use it, and it resonates a lot with us. So from front to back, we wanted this to be a very configurable system. I think what you're going to find is that with multiple heads, with multiple tails, and then with multiple pocket clips, nobody's really limited here. You've also got varying outputs, like I said. So the sky's kind of the limit, and I think with the Mission Configurable Handheld, you guys are going to love it. Okay, so who's this light for? It's not just for the serious EDC crowd. We're absolutely going to carry that light, but there's a ton of people out there who could benefit from it. And again, it goes back to the configurable nature of it. Are you walking your dog in a park? Do you have a flat tire? Do you need to find your socks in your closet? A million scenarios exist where we all use handhelds. If you look at how many handhelds are in your house right now and you figure out what you use them for, you don't have to say anything else to it. So this is for everybody, and this is actually the first product that we ever designed that's non-weaponized. So we're actually really proud of that. I think we're going to offer this to a lot of people who never knew who Cloud was. So it's a huge opportunity for us and for you guys to get a world-class tool.